In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show with your host, Rusty Buckets.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show, brought to you by FanDuel. Got my guy, as you can see, Mr. Wayno himself, aka Wayno Paints, over on Instagram. Wayno's getting ready to hop on a plane across the seas to head this way, man. How you doing this morning, Wayno?
Man, I'm good. I'm getting a little nervous about this flight. A couple of hours to go, and excited, but a little bit nervous, must admit.
Yeah, this is, I know this is, you said one of your first times traveling without the missus, so you're going to be hopping on some planes solo. And how many flights exactly is it going to take you to get here? 2 or 3?
So it's Sydney to Dallas, Dallas to Memphis. So not too bad.
Shoot. Nice. Yeah. That's not bad at all. So you go straight from Sydney to Dallas. That's not bad at all.
Yeah. And then I have I think it's like I got a 4-hour wait at Dallas before jumping on the plane. So
forgive my ignorance, and this might be a stupid question, and I'm known for those, but will you do customs in Dallas, or will you have to do that when you get to Memphis when you get
Dallas? I think Dallas, yeah.
I figured it was like your first leg that you'd have to do that at, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. The bags are packed. I was a little worried. I did jam everything in. Gosh, I hope they don't ask me to open the bag at all, because there's no closing that again.
Yeah, I hear you. Listen, man, I'm proud of you for getting it in. Packages are starting to roll in at the house in East Memphis. So glad that we're getting all of your stuff on location here to the state so that you can be ready to rock and roll when it comes down to the art show on Saturday. We got a commercial about it today. We just dropped one on our Instagram. Go check out the ad. Share it, please, on Instagram. I'm going to post it to X after the show. Make sure y'all share that with your buddies and come out on Saturday, because it's going to be it's going to be a beautiful day in downtown Memphis. Event kicks off at 1 o'clock. It's going to be a beautiful day, Wayno. A lot of fun. We're going to be celebrating art, brews, beautiful lands, the whole works as we celebrate Memphis and plant our flag in the 901, man. I'm excited about this. Man. Anything else you want to share about it?
Oh, I'm just excited to meet everyone and chat hoops and talk some art, and just, it's going to be just great to see everyone in person and not have to get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning to do so.
Yeah, man. Like we're gonna get everybody worked in. Don't be alarmed. Wayno's gonna be around hanging out with us. I'm gonna be carrying him all over, showing him some cool stuff in the city. We're gonna be going to some Grizz games, and y'all have to come out on Saturday and raise a glass with us at Grind City Brewery. It's gonna be a blast come Saturday. But Drew is out, Power Ranger in today. We had a pretty nasty storm come through Northeast Mississippi, so T's and P's to him and all the Power Rangers out there. I spoke with him a little while ago, and he was his normal grumpy curmudgeon self, so we don't have to worry about that. But I don't blame him. A tornado came through and did knock out some power last night. And then this morning, we wake up, and as of right now, it's still flurrying outside. It's in the mid-30s after a tornado and bad thunderstorms yesterday. It's flurrying snow here. So T's and P's to all of those out working in it. Edward's still without power in Memphis. But don't worry. We'll have power back for you when you get here tomorrow, Wayno, which I'm sure we'll talk about in our first segment that we drop every single Monday. It's everybody's favorite segment. We have to do this every single Monday, and that's our Best in Beef. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Every single Monday, we talk about our best in our beef, brought to you by Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi. Go check them out. Best sack lunch on the way to Pickwick. You've got burgers, you've got chicken, you got all of the fixings for lunch. But if you go for breakfast, order the $2. It's $2, and it's a slug burger biscuit with bacon, egg, and cheese on top. You can't go wrong. Tell Jim and the gang the buck sent you. The first one it goes, send me a screenshot of yours or a picture of your receipt, and I'll pay for your meal. But in our Best in Beef, Wayno, we talk about the best thing that happened to us and the worst thing that happened to us over the weekend. You're the guest. I'm a gentleman. I'll let you go first. What's the best thing that happened to you over the weekend?
I didn't really have anything in particular. We did have it was my son's birthday last weekend, and he had his like mate's party. So this weekend was kind of like the family party with and kind of doubled up as a goodbye, get the hell out of here, Wayno, sort of situation. So that was cool catching with a fan.
Yeah.
But no, I think everything's just like feeling a little surreal in a really good way, actually. And definitely packing the bag last night has definitely added to that. And yeah, so I'm just really looking forward to, jumping on this flight and getting over there quick smart.
Yeah, you'll be seeing Wayno on some of the $2 sports shows later in the weeks, side by side with me, sharing the same computer screen, which is going to be fun. It's going to be a good time while you're here. I couldn't be more stoked. About you coming, man.
I was gonna bring a sign with me as I got off the plane. It was just this red light, looking for my handlers or something like that.
Oh, don't worry. I might have a poster cooked up for you when you get here. It might be completely inappropriate, but I guess we'll have to find out. Yeah, I mean, we did a summer thing. My birthday's coming up this week, so we had a little birthday celebration with the family last night. My aunt and my grandmother made all my favorites, and my favorite meal that they always make, which is pinto beans and cornbread and mashed potatoes and coleslaw. And then she does this we call it meatballs and noodles, where they just roll out meatballs, cook them in some tomato sauce and macaroni noodles. It's super simple. It's all carbs, but it's been one of my favorite meals since I was a kid. I've had it every year for my birthday for I don't know how long when I come here. And so that was good. But the best thing that happened was I was in Atlanta at the end of last week. That's why you had Uncle Buck on some shows without me. We had the No Buck show on Friday with Kenny and Wayno. Appreciate y'all filling in. But had an awesome time at the Hinman Dental Conference, connecting with a lot of people that I've met via email and phone calls, like from some national lenders and vendors. A lot of not the big 4-0 yet, Drew. That's next year. Age 39 on Wednesday.
Still a young buck
next year. I said I'm still firmly in my 30s. Thank you very much. I'm not in my 40s yet. Firmly in my 30s. But had a great time connecting with a lot of people that I've met, like I said, via email and phone calls. Made a lot of connections. Got some strong leads for work, which is super exciting. Met some cool teammates too. Some other people within CAR. Mike and Eric were there. Ian, Joe, Emily, shout out Tim, Melody, just all the folks from our company that were there. It was a ton. We had a ton of fun just connecting and hanging out and sharing ideas. And we didn't really have an agenda for our meetings, but just sometimes those like collaborative efforts where everybody's just sharing things that are working and ideas and stuff are more beneficial than anything else. And so it was a great time in Atlanta and really a lot of fun, even though it was bookended by a 5.5 hour drive.
Sometimes those sessions are the best, the ones where you just get to sit down, just the melting pot of ideas. Many years ago, I used to have a whole bunch of mates who were like very creative. We used to just meet up at my place like once a week and just chat and collaborate on stuff, and just that talking it out and like just coming up with new ideas and problem solving like issues for maybe previous ideas. It's really super beneficial. Yeah.
Because like Mike, our broker, was like, I probably should have planned an agenda. And every time he says that, it ends up being like the best meeting because there was no agenda, because we were able just to like naturally flesh out some ideas. Y'all have all been in those rap sessions, which are just super beneficial for sure.
What we all want to know, though, is did you get your wings and hoodie? That's what we.
If I had my Magic City hoodie, I'd have wore it today. Everybody thought I was going to get the Lou Williams special, but I, in fact, did not. I stayed away from it. I was right near Olympic Park in downtown Atlanta. So no parts. We did karaoke one night, which was fun. Watching some of these folks just like get down. An incredible rendition. The best one was this kid got up there and did almost as good as a rendition of Kryptonite as Three Doors Down does. He did it solo. RIP to the real one from Three Doors Down, but incredible showing. Karaoke is always fun with the wallflower. I didn't have my buddy Uncle Buck to do any songs. We're known for doing some karaoke together, but without him, it's just a one-man band, and nobody wants that for sure. All right, what goes up must come down. Wayno, what's your biggest beef of the weekend?
I don't know if I really have one, to be honest. Like, I will say though, Sunday and putting all this together, the old cloud of self-doubt trickled in for a bit. And moments like that, you really got to fight with yourself and just shake it off and trust that you've put the work in. And I suppose just it is going to be what it is. And I think everyone goes through those sort of self-doubt moments. I when I was playing state league basketball before games, used to like be really bad. And I always used to remind myself that man, I've been doing this for years. I've literally been doing this for years. This is not my first go around. Like, just trust that the training's there and you put the work in. So, I think, I just think having that self-doubt, I got a little disappointed that I had that notion, but snapped myself out of it and was just like, come on.
You got this, man. I've seen your art. It's incredible. You know what you're doing. Zach and the gang at Grind City Brewing, I talked to them this morning. They're super stoked. They're going to push it. You're spoiler alert, there's going to be some great advertisement for it this week, and that's all you're going to get out of me. I'm super excited for what this is going to look like. We're pushing this pretty hard, and I think it's going to be a phenomenal event. It's going to be beautiful outside. It's going to be a great like melting pot of several avenues. Right? We've got art, we've got beer. We'll have college basketball on the TV. It's going to be a beautiful day. And come out to Grind City Brewing starting at 1:00 on Saturday. Support the boys at Bluff City Media and Wayno for sure. It's going to be a good time. Sure. My biggest beef is now that everybody in the comments thinks I'm 40 and I'm not. I'm turning 39 this week. 39. I ain't gonna be 40 till next year. David's talking about being 44. Jared's calling me 40. At least I'm not Kenny, who's been 40 twice now. Right? He's 40 twice now. Sorry, Kenny, you catching strays. No, I'll be 39 always. No, my beef for real. It's a bit tongue in cheek, right? I eat relatively healthy. I don't eat a lot of sugar and sweets. And then yesterday, I come over here to celebrate my birthday with my family. My grandmother and them have me a sheet cake from Walmart, which is great. It's good. I like it. Hard to beat just a good Walmart sheet cake. Then my mama, who loves me dearly and understands me and knows me very well, understands for my birthday, I want one thing from her. And it's what my grandmother used to give me every single year for a Christmas present. And it was my favorite Christmas present of all time. It's a red velvet cake. It's like my favorite dessert. And I get it. It's chocolate rift food coloring. Get out of here. But it's incredible. And so I get to my mama's house yesterday, and she has made my grandmother's recipe, homemade red velvet cupcakes with homemade cream cheese icing, homemade red velvet little mini bunt cakes here in the States. We have a restaurant called Nothing Bunt Cakes. BUNDT, Nothing Bunt Cakes. And they make a little mini, and she made some of those, and I hammered 2 of them. And so last night, laying in bed trying to go to sleep with 10,000 grams of sugar in my system, I like to never fell asleep last night. I hadn't had that much sugar in the last 5 years as I had yesterday between the Walmart cake and the red velvet. Yes, this is a tongue-in-cheek beef, Jared. Yes, I'm mad.
Let
My
me
steak
tell
is
you.
too juicy and my whiskey is too pure. That's it. This is a first world problem. My family loves me well, man. The beef segment of our show is always super tongue-in-cheek because like my life ain't that bad. And the fact that I'm complaining about eating too much sweets yesterday, my life ain't that bad.
Mate, they are on you in the comments today.
That's what I get for missing 3 days. I'm out trying to better myself and do my job. And I come back to you. I'm like that old boy from the Memphis News just getting roasted when all he did was introduce himself on Fox 13. I don't know if you saw that or not, but he got checked by everybody in Memphis. Absolutely hilarious. I'm getting checked in the comments here from complaining about too much sweets, but it is what it is.
It's funny you say that about the red velvet though, because what's that place in? There's a place in New York, Magnolia cheesecake. I think it's something like that. But when me and my wife go to New York, we always go there and we always get the red velvet cheesecake, and it is.
Oh, listen, while you're in Memphis, we're going to have to hit up Frost because Frost has great cakes and cookies and cupcakes. Maggie's got me some stuff, some strawberry and key lime, some stuff from there. We'll have to hit up. We've got some things planned, and that'll definitely be on the agenda. That's for sure. So the agenda will be coming out, gang. Don't worry in the comments. We'll make sure to let y'all know when and where we're going to be with Wayno this week for sure, so everybody can see him and hang out. But you have to come out on Saturday. Your
beef was really you had too much good food.
Again, life ain't that bad, man. These beefs are always real tongue in cheek. Life ain't real bad. I can tell you that. But speaking of life not being real bad. Time to talk Grizzlies. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here on the $2 Sports Show, we always start with some buffoonery, and we got a lot of buffoons in the comments today, popping off like usual. Wouldn't have it any other way. But right now, it's time to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, Wayno, as they continue their quest to collapse for Cam, disaster for DeBansta, awful for Acuff, whatever you want to call it, whatever your hashtag, whatever team you're trending. The Grizzlies did a great job of heading that way on Friday night, offering up a lot of $3 beers at Grind City Brewing because they trailed all game to the Detroit Pistons en route to 0-6 in this current iteration of our 10-game Beale Street Heat check. Wayno, I don't know how you can be mad at the effort on Friday night. We kind of hung with them. It was a single-digit game late, and then we did what we're supposed to do and run out of gas and lose to the Detroit Pistons.
I mean, I tried to tell Uncle Buck on the show. He was convinced we were beating Dallas because they're a bad team, and I was like, I don't know what games you've been watching recently, sir. Because I brought out the old crystal bottle, and was like, we're going to be competitive. Then that fourth's going to hit, and it's all going to fall apart. And that's been the tale of the tape. I expect no less. I think we're actually in a bit of trouble against Chicago. I am interested to see how we compete, especially for those first three quarters. I really want to see how the boys respond because Chicago have some pretty good rebounding guards and forwards. I think Josh Giddey's probably going to push a triple-double in this game. He's had some big rebounding games since coming back, and he loves to push the pace. That's his whole thing. That's his shtick. And I am a bit of a fan of Mateus, I must admit, and he's been playing pretty well recently. The only thing
we'll talk about Chicago here in a minute. I do want to get to that because I got some thoughts on that, which, I mean, I guess if you're already pulling it up.
Oh, sorry. We talking Dallas? We talking Dallas?
We were talking Detroit kind of leading up through the weekend, like trending. Yeah. All good. We're getting there, man. Bro. It's early.
Sorry, bro.
Listen, I don't want to talk about Detroit any more than we did, so we'll go ahead and put it up there. Chicago Grizzlies are in Chicago. Bulls are a 6-point favorite. Grizz plus 198 on the money line. Over under is 242.5. Wayno, as you were saying, Josh Giddey has been on an absolute tear lately. Your boy has been killing it from triple doubles lately, pushing the pace, grabbing rebounds. And as you were saying, I think this is going to be another one where the Grizzlies are in trouble.
Yeah, good save. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, good, man. That's what we do. That's what we do, man. That's why there's two on here.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. My brain just went left.
Well, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning over there? Something.
Yeah. Just a bit past. Look, I think we'll be in a bit of trouble against Chicago. To be honest, they like to push pace. I mean, the thing is, they have no real interior defense, or previously have had no real interior defense. Obviously, they had Big Vooch in the middle, but he's no longer there. He's in Boston. But even he isn't like a superior defender by any standards. Do you know what I mean? His guy is really going to stretch the floor. So with him no longer being there, I mean, it's going to be that whole thing with Nick Richards and what you get out of him. Like, the guy has the potential. He's one of those guys, you look at the stats for the season, you go, man, this guy is solid and a good rebounder, but he does tend to go a bit missing. It depends who we're rolling out, who's his matchup for the night. I'm sure we're going to be trying to push the pace to keep him kind of in the background. But, yeah, I don't know. When their guards are that big and they're known for rebounding, they're kind of a little bit like us, but
yeah,
Chicago's a mess. Like, Chicago is such a mess of the team. Like, it's just I don't know. Like, I watch a lot of opposition commentary and stuff like that when I watch my games, and the Chicago fans are not super happy with this team right now and their management. And I mean, I don't really blame them. It makes me, as a Grizzlies fan, feel a bit more relieved about our current situation, because at least you can see a plan going forward.
Sure. So speaking of plan going forward, the Memphis Grizzlies have the second toughest strength of schedule remaining from here through the end of the season. Only team worse is Indiana, whose strength of schedule, like, their teams are at 0.552. We're at 0.549. Chicago is way on down. There's a chance, Wayno, we're up 2.5 games on Chicago, 3.5 games in the Tankathon rankings for the 8th best odds for the first overall. But we're only 2 games back in New Orleans, who on a 6-4 pace in their last 10 games, who have really no reason to be tanking. They're just bad for love of the game. Like, if we continue this trend, there's a real world where we go 0 for the back half of this season, with games remaining against New York and Boston and Denver and San Antonio and all these teams that we still have yet to play. Toronto, we played Chicago twice. Like, Chicago is the only team that we actually have a shot really against on the back half of this season. And so our chances of tanking and landing at the bottom of this lottery keeps getting better. Again, games against Houston and Charlotte and Atlanta still on the horizon. David, appreciate you being here, buddy. Appreciate you early birthday wish, man. Thanks for have a great day at work, man. Appreciate y'all being here. But this Chicago team is one of the ones that we can beat. We're 6-point road underdog. I don't see us winning this game, Wayno. Like you said, they hustle, they rebound. They're kind of the antithesis of us right now, where they've got big guards who get after it, get rebounds.
Yeah.
This is a team that's kind of lost identity. I anticipate this to be competitive, but the Grizzlies are going to do a really good job of allowing this thing to slip away at the end like we typically do.
Yeah, I mean, this is a different story if it's earlier in the year when we had bigs, or, next season even. Their interior defense is pretty, like, we would just be attacking inside because that's their weak point. Tell us my train of thought. Uncle Buck, out of line. Out of line.
But accurate. I'm not going to put it up here because I'm trying to stay up in the algorithm, but y'all saw the comment. Y'all saw
that's
it.
Fair.
But we do need to talk about Santi. Oh, sorry, you got one more thought on the Bulls?
Well, I was just going to say, just on the tanking rankings, I suppose, is I think if we lose this game, Dallas jump us, because Dallas had a big win against Cleveland. I watched that game yesterday. So I think they leapfrog us actually in the standings if we drop this game against Chicago.
So we're currently 8th. We're a game behind Dallas. They are in 7th. If we lose this game and Dallas wins tonight, if they play, if we lose tonight, we'll move within a half game. They still would be ahead of us with the tiebreaker, as Jared says here. But Dallas plays at New Orleans tonight. So if they win and we lose, we will be tied for the 7th best. Dallas would still be ahead because of the tiebreaker. But again, Dallas has been playing better. They beat Cleveland. They beat us. Their schedule is not nearly as daunting down the back half of the season back part of the season as ours is. They've got some winnable games coming up. It's going to be an interesting race. Again, I do think that we are probably firmly entrenched in the 7th, 8th spot. I don't know that we're going to catch New Orleans. I'm just saying that there's a path to get there if we continue to lose based on the strength of our schedule.
So do you feel like the worst thing we could do is become competitive all of a sudden and find ourselves in the play-in?
There's 0% chance of that happening because of our schedule.
It just feels like Dallas is doing a bit of the opposite job right now, right? Like we are totally bombing out this end of the season. Dallas has gone, you know what? Screw it. 18 games left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we can do. I don't know which is the right approach.
I can tell you the approach they're going to do, and it's the opposite of that. Like we see that as related to Santi Aldama having the announcement yesterday that he's having a procedure done on his knee, and it had all of the Grizzlies fans up in a tizzy about, oh, we're having another knee surgery. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. What he's having is an arthroscopic procedure where they're basically going to go in and clean out the backside of his kneecap, clean out any inflammation in there. They're going to inject it with what's called PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma, and it's going to help from a natural perspective better than like a steroid injection, which can cause weakening of tendons and ligaments if you have too many over the lifetime. Not one, but a series of them can lead to that. PRP is a much more natural, holistic healing. They may inject some bone marrow or this stem cell. There's other things they can put in there, but it's going to be one of those, and it can help with healing from a natural perspective. And with the cleanup, the targeted injection, it can be a game changer. Jared talks about it here. PRP is really, really beneficial. It's becoming more and more common as research is showing that it's more and more effective. But it's a great way to try and get inflammation out of your knee, which we've known he's been dealing with some knee inflammation and irritation for several weeks now. It's not a surgery that he's having that he's going to be on the shelf for the rest of the season. But I still don't think Santi Aldama plays again this year because we are firmly tanking. We are really walking this thing down. I think he's done for the year, but this has no long-term implications other than I think this is going to be really beneficial for Santi Aldama.
Yeah. Well, if only that injection could help his defense.
Yeah. I don't know that they have an injection for that yet. That's for sure.
Well, we'll get him two. We'll get him two when they come up with it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's all the Grizzlies thought we got for today. The Grizzlies are firmly tanking down. We play tonight against the Chicago Bulls in Chicago. I believe tip-off's at 7 o'clock. Check it out on FanDuel, the official odds provider of Bluff City Media, over on FanDuel Sports Network. Here, Petey and Brev as they break it down. We play Chicago tonight at 7 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side of the commercial break, Adam Silver made a big announcement yesterday about expansion that we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a player that could be a max target Wayno wants to talk about. And then I found a guy that I'm keeping my eye on as a late first or that 31st pick that we have in the second round. Stick around to the other side of this commercial break. We'll deep dive on all that and more.
Tired of the same old fast food? The soggy fries, the frozen flavors, the meals that never quite hit right. Head over to Waldo's Chicken and Beer, where everything starts fresh and flavor comes first. Our chicken is fried in rich beef tallow for that bold, old-school crunch you can actually taste. Don't skip the premium homemade southern sides. Fresh greens, hearty white beans, and creamy mac and cheese made to complete the meal. Bring your whole family. There's plenty of space to relax. Plus a game room the kids will love. Catch the game on big screens, grab a drink at the full bar, and enjoy happy hour specials. Every day from 3 to 6, all day on Tuesday and Sunday. Waldo's Chicken and Beer. Real food, real flavor, made from scratch. I think what we saw out of Bradshaw this year is the best you're going to get, and it's not enough. Aaron Bradshaw's not a good basketball player. He just so happens to be 7'1". And I think that what you saw out of him is literally tapping the very limits of his potential. If that is what you're wanting back, I'm good on any. I'm not good on that. Like I don't like that is it. That is all you're getting out of Aaron Bradshaw. Yep. Because at the very beginning of the year, he was unplayable. Like unplayable, couldn't do a thing. And Penny he got every bit of juice out of Aaron that he could possibly get out of him, and I think he's tapped.
The stretch of basketball we saw from Aaron Bradshaw in the middle part of conference play was probably the best we'll see of Aaron Bradshaw. I don't really think he's much better than that. If he does come back, Kenny, he can't be making this much money.
Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I expect Penny to be back, but we joked about this on the show the other day, man. I think it's gonna be a little weekend with Burning situation, man. When they drag Penny out there,
Little Penny's gonna be up there.
Hey,
with Ed pulling the string.
Yeah, Ed's gonna be back there holding the strings.
my worry is that we're gonna see a situation where Penny is the coach, but he's not really the coach.
You're telling me you're going to hire these assistants for Penny Hardaway, and he has no idea whether or not he can trust them or whether they want his job. Penny's had concerns about that previously with some of his assistants. With
guys that he picked.
I can't imagine that Penny Hardaway, as badly as I know he wants to fix this, is down with losing that kind of power, with just being out there basically as a face. I mean, you start getting into that territory. I think you're basically already stating that if you want to reduce his power that much, frankly, you should have moved on from the head coach himself, right?
Tune in to the Anthony Sain Show Monday through Fridays at 1 p.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Memphis, it's time to plant your flag. Join us this Saturday for an afternoon of art, college basketball, and celebrating this great city. The Plant Your Flag series is a direct response to recent national media coverage of the Memphis Grizzlies and the city they call home. Curated by Australian artist Wayne Hunt, the series celebrates all things that makes Memphis, Memphis. The people, the places, and of course, basketball. Partnered with Bluff City Media, the artworks include caricatures, odes, icons, and landmarks that set the story straight about the 901. Stepping up with that famous Southern hospitality, Grind City Brewing is proud to host the show with the city as the perfect backdrop. This Saturday, March 21st, come raise a glass with us to Memphis, basketball, and the people that make this city great.
Some dreams don't just come true, they come with 4 paws. At Puppy Dreams, we match loving families with happy, healthy puppies. From playful companions to lifelong best friends, your perfect match is waiting. And with our professional grooming spa, your pup will look as amazing as they feel. Visit Puppy Dreams today and meet the one who's been waiting just for you.
Welcome back to the $2 Sports Show. I'm your guy, Rusty Witten. Got Wayno here in with me, filling in for Uncle Buck. And Uncle Buck, speaking of, during the break, sent me some devastating news for Alabama Crimson Tide fans as we head into the NCAA tournament. Their star shooter, Aden Holloway, who's averaging almost 41% on threes in his recent stretch, made 44% of his three-point attempts for Alabama, who has the number 3 offense in the country, got the 4th seed in the Midwest Regional, has been arrested on felony marijuana charges and will likely miss time in the NCAA tournament. This is a huge blow to Crimson Tide fans, a huge blow to Alabama's offense, one of their best elite shooters. Wayno is likely out for the NCAA tournament. Felony marijuana charges in the state of Alabama carry up to 15 years in prison. I'm curious to see if he's actually going to get to play in March, man. What a huge blow to the Crimson Tide for sure.
That's rough. That's
like
rough.
3 days before we start playing. It's wild.
Dang.
Yeah, but he had a pound of weed, which apparently in the state of Alabama is a lot. But the Memphis, so we've talked about the Memphis Grizzlies already today. We're going to transition more into the NBA at large before we wrap up with another college player who's having a bit better of a time, knock on wood, than Aden Holloway. But the NBA has officially stated that they're going to be voting on March 24th and 25th for expansion exclusively to Vegas and Seattle, to surprise of no one. If you watched the 2 Buck Sports Show, you saw Wayno and myself give you great options for the Vegas team. We know that Seattle is going to be the Supersonics. The Vegas, I said the Gamblers with Kenny Rogers. You said the Coyotes. We gave them great options. Incredible options for them.
Vegas slots.
Slots, that's what it was. Their mascot was a coyote.
Careful how you
be
say
careful
it.
with that O. But I think this is what everybody saw coming, right, Wayno? Like, these were going to be the 2 teams, and they could begin competing as early as 2028 and 2029.
I actually like that. Kind of excited me. That was like, that's like not that far away when you think about it. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know. Like, I'll always be a Memphis fan, but I love the NBA in general. So an expansion is kind of exciting just to see like all those new questions, what other franchises consider the safe players and who aren't safe. Real ego check for a lot of players on teams as well. And just to see how they roll out, draft picks and things like that. So, add all that to mix. That's going to be so much fun to talk about, down the line. I am really interested to see what the uniforms look like and how close we were.
Yeah, because in the original, like when they posted it, like I think they were called the Las Vegas High Rollers, and they had the same color scheme that I had. If they don't use Kenny Rogers as their mascot, they're missing a massive opportunity. But I think there's a huge upside for a slots, a High Rollers, or a Gamblers team in Las Vegas. And like you said, the expansion draft, it's been so long since we had one, but I remember just the excitement around who they're going to pick, who they're going to pull. Each team has to put up players. You cannot lose more than one player, so they can pick one player from your team and grow your team through the draft, through free agency, and through that expansion draft. I'm excited to see what it looks like. Yeah, Jared, I do feel like they're going to be the Supersonics. There's nothing else they could be.
It would be an abomination. Yes. Abomination if Silver approved anything other. I will say this though, I want the Sonics back. I enjoyed watching them as a kid, so it's always nostalgia for me when it comes to Seattle, and just like the way they lost the team to Clay Bennett and all that nonsense that went on, and when they do launch though, I hope they have a new uniform, like one we haven't seen. Mm-hmm. I think they take that expectation. Look, keep the colors by all means. I want the colors, and I want them to jump back to throwback night, because a throwback night in Seattle would be huge. Mm-hmm. They'd be pulling massive money numbers on those nights. But I would like to see like kind of a new design for them, when they launch at least. But again, like stay true to the OG Seattle fans who have been sitting in the pipeline, cursing the Zombie Sonics OKC, and I'm sure they are itching at the bit to get their team back in the league.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I agree, like to an extent. Like I think there could be some really cool concept jerseys out there. I think keep the same green, white, and yellow color scheme. Oh, yeah. I don't think you deviate from that. You leave some of those like the bar Sonic or the kind of slanted Sonic with the ball as the dot of the eye for some throwback nights. But see what you can come up with. Like, there's going to be some cool designs. This is a sweet color scheme. Like, I think that there's a lot of cool things you can do with this. But you absolutely have to get back in some of those old school, old-timey jerseys in rotation. I'm talking about the Sean Kemp's years, the Gary Payton years when they were going to the finals against the Bull, the conference finals against the Jazz before, and then they played the Bulls in the finals once, right?
Yeah.
Those years, like, bring those back on throwback nights.
The sneaky one that I love, which is not high on everyone's list, is they did that. I don't know what color. It's like almost like a crimson red. It was when Desmond Mason was dunking in Seattle. I look, it's totally associated with him as the player. So I just kind of dig that uniform because of that. I mean, the cool thing about this, or maybe uncool, part of this whole announcement is that pretty much solidifies that either Memphis Grizzlies or Minnesota Timberwolves are going east.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 100%. One of those two teams is who it's going to be. It makes the most sense for the Grizzlies just because, like, I understand, like, Minnesota, they're in close proximity to that one cluster of the Eastern Conference teams. But the Grizzlies are actually closer to the rest of the Eastern Conference. We're also the furthest east. Minnesota has, just like we do, a large trip out west. They have to cover a lot of miles. Yes, we have New Orleans and the Texans teams relatively close. But it makes the most sense for the Grizzlies. But if we know anything, the Grizzlies are going to be the ones on the outside looking in. It's going to be Minnesota heading east, right?
Oh man, what a shift in dynamics that will be for the league. That's that sort of stuff excites me,
And here, so speaking of if it's Minnesota, Adam Silver owes us the top 4 pick. That's all I'm saying. And for me, would you rather go east or would you rather get a top 4 pick in this year's draft? Wayno, which would you rather do?
Oh, give me that pick. Give me that pick.
That's what I'm saying. If Adam Silver comes to you and says, Wayno, you're a fan of the Grizzlies, you paint the Grizzlies, I'm going to give you a top 2 pick, or we're going to move you to the Eastern Conference. Which one would you take? I agree with your take.
Yeah, I'm taking that pick every day of the week.
Every day, because that means it's Cam Boozer or AJ DeBansta or Darren Peterson, somebody. Yeah, I would take that in a heartbeat.
And I'll tell you why, because us being a bad team in the East might be the demise of me.
That's a good point. I don't
At least we have that argument.
Yeah. I don't think I can handle being bad in the Eastern Conference for sure.
No, that's
yeah. All right, you brought this up. You've been wanting to talk about this. You lobbed it up in the group chat, so I'll let you introduce the topic of a certain player who almost allegedly was being shopped by one of his teammates to Memphis on a max contract. Wayno, take it away.
Yeah, look, I don't like talking about this because it is Laker fueled, and my former co-hosts just would dig their little heels in about this. But is Austin Reeves a max player in the league? That's the question I pose. Reportedly, Utah can offer 250 to 300 mil. So he'd fit White in Utah, pardon the pun.
White I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I just sort of thought, interesting, like if you in need of a max player, we have one kind of on the way out. And, is it an option? Would you consider Austin Reeves a max player?
So I think we gotta differentiate between two things. Is a max player the same as a number 1 option? And in the CBA, that's not necessarily the case. Like, we paid Jaren, who's not a number 1 option, max money, and that got him shipped out. John Morant is on max money, and he's on his way out. I think Austin Reeves, based on his stats, I mean, he averages almost 24 points, 4.8 rebounds, 5.5 assists, shooting 50% from the field, 38% from 3. I mean, those are max type numbers. But is Austin Reeves a number 1 option on a team? And I don't think he is. And under this new CBA, I don't know that teams are going to be as eager to pay a non-number 1 option. We did it with Jaren and then immediately traded him out before the money hits. I don't know that teams are going to be as willing to pay a number 2 player like a number 1 type player. So statistically, maybe, but style of play and fit, I'm not sure he's a max contract type player.
Yeah. It's funny because watching the Lakers, when I do watch them, Luka and Austin Reeves have real chemistry on the court. And like as far as like a scoring punch, they certainly bring that. Anyone who watched the Lakers game the other day, I mean, he was fantastic and, won him that game. Do you know what I mean? So like there's definitely potential there, but does he? Yeah, I do wonder how he would perform as the guy on a team. When defenses have, I mean, you're playing next to Luka. Do you know what I mean? Like that draws a lot of attention, obviously. But if I'm the Lakers, I mean, well, the vibe I get from a lot of Lakers and a lot of my Laker friends is that like they're kind of really interested to see what this team looks like after LeBron, and then that money can be dispersed elsewhere because they've played pretty well. Luka and Reeves, even at the start of the season, and like there's something. I feel like there is something there. Now, would I want him in a Memphis uniform as our number one option? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not for that money, and not for where we are right now. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. We're kind of like win by committee sort of vibe going on right now with this new system. But I could definitely see, maybe a handful of teams out east that would throw a lot of money at him.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. And, again, I don't know. I'm with King Meeks. I'm with you. I think like he plays alongside a number one option well. Like he fits well beside Luka. He fit well beside LeBron for a little bit until he got on the outs of LeBron. And LeBron's been trying to trade him ever since. But like he fits well beside a number one option. But I don't know about him being the number one option. Like, maybe if you go hit on a Cam Boozer or something like that, or a DeBansta, and then you bring in Austin Reeves as a guy to kind of pair with somebody like that. That's a conversation. I don't necessarily want him in Memphis, and I don't think he's the number one option, which in the new CBA makes him, in my opinion, not necessarily a candidate for a max contract. Fair?
Fair.
Yeah. All right, well, I've been watching some highlights. I've been watching some other podcasts, listening in, just trying to figure out what the Memphis Grizzlies should do with all their picks. We've talked about top 4 picks ad nauseum, who we think that we should pick. I'm Team Boozer. Drew is DeBansta. I think you kind of move around on several guys at the top of the draft. Drew and I last week talked about who we would target in the 7 through 9 range. And that's a very real thing we need to be talking about because there's guys in there that are going to be like, there's a chance that we're going to be picking in there based on sitting 8th in the Tankathon ratings.
Yeah.
But what does Zach Kleiman tend to do at the back half of the first round? Right? He likes to trade up into that back half of the first round. We also sit with pick number 31, the beginning of the second round. Right. So we're sitting right there at the cusp of the end of the first round where ZK is known to do some moving around. So I've been doing some research trying to figure out what player in there I think the Grizzlies should target. And one that's come up, and I got a highlight tape we're going to play here in a minute, is none other than Dailyn Swain from the University of Texas. He was at Xavier, transferred in. He's a big wing. He's strong, plays very downhill, averaging 17.8 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, and 2.0 stocks per game. Coming into conference play, he was not shooting the 3-ball well. He does struggle with some mechanics in shooting and things that are like things that need to be kind of dialed in from long distance. He's a mid-range killer. He's a rim running wing who's uber athletic. But he was shooting 34% heading into conference play when SEC conference play picked up. Competition stepped up. Wayno, he went from shooting 34% to 38% from 3 and has stepped his game up. I've seen some comps comparing him to a stronger Jaden McDaniels, which I think we can all agree a Jaden McDaniels in Memphis would be fantastic. An athletic wing who defends his tail off. And that's been the biggest thing that stood out to me on film with Dailyn Swain. Is he is a versatile defender, can guard 1 through 4, 5 in the right situation, / hopefully we're not doing that anymore. Shout out Jemai Meshack when we get Edie and some of our bigs back. But Dailyn Swain is the guy that I don't hate for a end of first, early second. What are your thoughts on Dailyn Swain before we play the video?
All right. My take is, look, you got to take it with a little bit of grain of salt because as I've said on the show, I'm not a big college guy. I have recently started upping my college viewing, which has been really fun. Actually, I've really enjoyed, especially I feel like this is definitely like the time of year to jump on because the competitiveness is just, it's quite the contrast between our current Grizzlies at the moment. That being said, when you did mention that we were going to be talking about this kid, I did jump online and go through the YouTube rabbit holes. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on him. Just eye test. To me, he kind of reminds me of Vince Williams Jr. That's kind of my take on him. That's how I see his game. Again, grain of salt. And I just sort of think, well, if you want a Vince Williams type of player, I mean, just go pick him up after injury.
Mm-hmm.
He already knows the system. I don't know if Dailyn is the guy we're looking for. But that's just my take.
Yeah, it's obvious you had to watch a lot of film on this guy.
Yeah.
He is uber athletic. He is like, he has more athleticism in one leg than Vince had in both. And that's no shade to Vince. Like, this dude is just an uber athlete, downhill player.
Yeah, I'm
he's
talking
bigger than Vince.
Like,
he's 6'8", 230. Like, he's bigger than Vince. He's he looks, and we're gonna play. I got some highlights we'll talk through. I guess this is a good time. We'll kind of talk through it. We're gonna talk while we play. Hang on, you're gonna go off screen. Oh, you stayed on screen. So we're gonna talk through it while it plays. But Dailyn Swain is a guy who tends to get downhill, who plays super athletic. He's a hard finisher at the rim. This is him against Auburn, creating a shot at the top of the key. Again, the mechanics aren't great, Wayno. I can see the Vince Williams nature from his jump shot, but the way he attacks the rim and gets up in the paint against bigger guys, immunity, he's a guy that is much more athletic and downhill than a Vince Williams type to me.
Yeah, all I'm saying is Vince Williams, to be honest with you. Like when it all breaks down, like, I don't know, man. I'm just not sold on this one. And that's okay. Like, if we drafted him, I'd be happy to be proved wrong. But I can see the size difference, obviously. And I can see his aggressiveness. It's just more when the game breaks down and you are going more one-on-one with the defender. I feel like that's where his shaky jump shot reminds me of Vince.
So Dillon Brooks is another name that kind of comes up with his dogged defensive nature, his lack of shooting mechanics that are repeatable. But here's some stats that kind of buck what you're saying.
Okay, cool.
Dailyn Swain ranks, this is as of about 2 weeks ago. So these are some backdated stats as we kind of ended the season. But Swain ranked first in the nation in isolations points per possession, which is just over 1.6, while finishing 73% from 2 and 57% from 3. Not to mention, only 21% of his baskets are assisted. So what that basically means is he is an elite shot creator, and when it's one-on-one isolation, he is an elite finisher, finishing 73% from 3 and 57% from 3 on ISO-type plays. Vince Williams never had numbers like that. Jaden McDaniels might. Dillon Brooks never had numbers like that. He was good at Oregon, but Dailyn Swain, what he has is an elite isolation shot creation. Now, does that fit in the Grizzlies system? We do a lot of motion. We pass the ball a lot. It would be a different adjustment because he is the guy in Texas and the only guy in Texas with a great offensive pulse. I like what I see. His off-ball offense could probably improve along with his shot mechanics. But from a defensive standpoint, a slasher, and if you, like Drew always says, if you're going to take a chance on somebody, take a chance on the uber athlete, and Dailyn Swain is that uber athlete. And in my opinion, somebody we should target at the back half of the first.
So what pick range would you have for him?
Oh, at the end of the first round, at the highest. Okay. Like I would not take it. So he's a guy on Tankathon's mock draft. They have him going 30th, the last pick of the first to Dallas. Okay. And then they have us taking Ibuka Okori with the first pick of the second round from Stanford. And I think that if we could trade up and get him at 29 or 30, I think you do that. But I don't think you go try and get him in the mid to upper 20s. Like, he's a guy. I mean, that's where we got Desmond Bain was the last pick of the first round. Yeah. Santi Aldama was one of the last picks of the first round. That's where I would take him.
Yeah, you nailed it. Like, all right, like when you come to the second round and the tail end of the first round, that's when I really put my trust in Kleiman, because that's when he tends to hit. And we've seen some, like you just mentioned, some good names come through this roster.
And let's just say we get the 6th overall pick and we get Darius Acuff. Let's say we trade up to the 14th pick and we get Thomas Howell from Florida, the big shot creating power forward who can dunk on anybody, an elite rim runner. You trade up and get Dailyn Swain at the end of the first. You've got a couple really good. You got a Howell's going to take a little bit of refining for his NBA game, not a ton. Acuff is a guy who could step in and play immediately. Hal is the guy who needs a little bit of refining, and then you got a little bit of a project in Dailyn Swain. I think you're helping with the timeline there. You got an A-Cuff who can plug and play, and this is trying to be realistic, saying we're 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere right in there. If you can go get a DeBansta or a Boozer, and then like with a plug and play ready guy, then that makes me a little bit more eager to take Swain, because I think the upside is certainly there for this kid.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, heading into next season and, down the line, is like, we're going to become that fun young team again, which is great. It's that, it's in between that transition of being competitive. So I'm like, and that's what I think, like, Grizzlies fans, like, yeah, like we all know what the deal is this year. No one says we have to like it while we're sitting and watching it, though.
Right.
But we do kind of have to like grit our teeth and just deal with it. Do you know what I mean? But like, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Like,
yeah,
I do believe what Clymer said, that like it's going to be a short turnover to getting back to competitive. But man, I'm going to really enjoy being that young, fun team again. I miss those days.
So I just ran a sim, and I'm going to start trying to do this as we get closer to May the 10th. I just ran a sim here live on the show. 1 click, 1 sim. Everybody knows the rules. We got the 4th overall pick, and we took Caleb Wilson, possibly baby Kevin Garnett, which I wouldn't hate. And then at 19, they have us taking Koa Pete. I think if we take a Caleb Wilson at 4, I think that changes our magic pick. I don't know that we go Koa Pete from Arizona. I think that's where we might start looking at Kareem Lopez, who goes 21st overall. We might start looking at like a Amari Allen from Alabama, maybe plugging a wing there. But then again, you trade up at the end of the first and you got a Dailyn Swain. I think that's a pretty good first round draft.
Man, the more I watch that, I know I'm getting killed for my KG take on Caleb.
I see it, man. You can see it.
It's like, I'm not talking polished KG. I'm talking like what KG came into the league like, without the jump shot, without the moves, like, but just the way that kid like is so aggressive. Like, he has a questionable jump shot. Do you know what I mean? But
you can't question the motor.
Oh, and I would die for that on this team right now. Absolutely die for that, because
you can question the jump shot. You can question some of the ability to finish on offense, but you can't question the motor. He is a elite shot blocker already, and kid's just hungry. Like, he played a game with a broken hand. Like, kid is just hungry, and like you said, I would kill for that on our team. Absolute
lob threat as well. So I think that would be like, just with him next to Edie, would be just super dangerous. Just throw that ball up anywhere.
Oh my god. I like you pair a potential Kevin Garnett with Zach Edey, and good luck, buddy, in the front court. Good freaking luck.
The more I don't like it, because like the more I'm trying to get my hopes up too high. The more I watch film on Caleb, I just go, I think that's my guy. I think that's the guy I want.
Yeah.
And I know how good Boozer is, and I know how good AJ is, but man,
I'm not going to mock anybody trying to like sell me on one of the top 4 picks. I give Drew a hard time because that's what we do on our show. We argue. But like, if your guy is AJ DeBansta, I get it. If your guy's Cam Boozer, I get it. Your guy's Caleb Wilson, I see it. If it's Darren Peterson, I need a little help, but I think I can see it because the talent's there. But like, is he dependable, right? Like, a good run in March, like if they have a late tournament run, I can see it. Any of those cats are going to be a plug and play, like franchise moving type pick. If you're sitting there on socials or in your friend circles or in your group chat saying otherwise, you don't know ball, buddy. Like, none of these guys are guarantees, but these guys, this is one of the deepest draft classes in recent memory.
One of my favorite Rusty sayings over the last few months has been, "Go touch grass."
That's it. Go touch grass. Get out of the house. Close the laptop. Put the phone down. Go touch grass. Because if you don't think some of these cats are going to change your franchise more so than a disgruntled superstar who likes to sit on the bench and watch, buddy, go touch grass. Go touch grass.
I like it.
Yeah, Wayno. Listen, before we get out of here, the $2 Sports Show Bracket Challenge is live. It's on all of our socials. Y'all go sign up. We do this every single year. I'm going to talk to Uncle Buck. We always offer a prize. We haven't been able to give it away yet. You know why? Because your boy won last year. I picked Florida to beat Houston in the national championship. I won the bracket challenge last year. I'm looking to repeat again. I did my bracket this morning. Feel confident about it. I do. I'm not telling you who I'm picking, though, but I feel confident about it.
Okay.
But y'all go sign up. It's the $2 Sports Show. It's on the Tournament Challenge app on ESPN. Check out our socials here at the number $2_BCM for the bracket challenge. It's also on Bluff City Media's Instagram page. Check out, sign up. There is a prize up for grabs. I'm working on getting a little trophy with your name on it. So just be aware. If you can win, you win that. May find some swag in there for you as well. I got a guy I know that's doing some prints and stuff. We could probably get you a prize as well. Make sure you sign up for that. Make sure you come out on Saturday, 1 o'clock, Grind City Brewing for Plant Your Flag, the series. Super stoked for that, Wayne. I got a lot of cool things happening this week, so make sure y'all sign up for the bracket challenge. Come out in droves on Saturday. Have some brews with us. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. But that's going to do it for your Monday edition of the $2 Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets. Normally, my guy Drew's here. We had Wayno filling today. Awesome job as always, sir. Hey, safe travels as you head to the airport today. You'll be hopping on a plane in just a few short hours in Australia, heading to Memphis, and I'll be there picking you up at the airport tomorrow afternoon. Can't wait to meet you in person and see you, buddy. Super excited, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I have this thing in my head. It's like, am I just gonna look at go out? Oh, hey, Rusty.
Basically,
I need to see the size comparison. Like
so it's funny.
I think I'm kind of like 6. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I always say 6'2", but if I'm being honest, like 6'1". I'm probably 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in real time. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's funny. I was at Atlanta, obviously last week. Like I said, I met a guy from Live Oak Bank, and he walked up to me. I walked up to him, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm Rusty Whitten. Nice to meet you." He goes, "You're a freaking gorilla, dude. I didn't realize how big you are in person." He's like, "My God." And I just fell out laughing. I was like, I can call worse. But anyway, looking forward to meeting you tomorrow in person, Wayno. For all of us here at Blessed Media, thanks for hanging out. Give us a thumbs up on the way out the door. Be back at 1 o'clock for the Anthony Sain Show. Go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.